Hello everyone and welcome to the BattleCreek National Hare Scramble. This time we're not rained out. We are here in BattleCreek, Michigan, and like I said, it is the National Pro Hare Scramble. So there is money on the line and there are extremely fast riders. So here we find ourselves out on the starting line, and this guy up ahead of me, number 2 there, that can't start his bike, that is Jeff Stanton, 6-time champion motocross and supercross rider. Guy is in the Hall of Fame, and you would think, being a guy in the Hall of Fame, he could actually find himself a bike that would start the first kick, but apparently not. He has the same problems as all the rest of us. So I just wanted to point him out, and I was a little starstruck sitting there. You know, it's a Hall of Fame guy. He was the guy that was winning everything pretty much before McGrath was. And, yeah, I was a little starstruck. So, I'm sitting here on the line, I'm watching him, and then the class ahead of us is going to start. So I'm watching them. And this guy right in front of me, this guy, I think it says Gilbert on the back of his jersey, 726. He also can't get his bike to start. So I don't know if just this right-hand side is a bad place to be. It seems like the first guy there, Stanton, he couldn't get his bike started. Now this Gilbert guy, he can't get his bike started, and I'm next in line, so I don't know if I'm going to have trouble or what's going to happen here, but apparently this spot is bad luck. So this guy's kicking and kicking, and the flag holder's yelling at him, you know, get off to the side because our next class has to start on time. So he pushes his bike off to the side there, and he's going to continue to keep trying to start it. And I'm just watching him, you know. And before they wave this flag, they always give us a 5 seconds or a 10 seconds. They give us a little warning, you know. So I'm really not paying attention too much. I'm just watching that guy. And as soon as he drives off, he throws the flag, and I'm surprised. I had my head in the clouds. I don't know what's going on. I didn't have my bike in gear. I don't know. I need to start paying attention. I don't know what I was doing. So anyway, the race is on, and I am behind a lot of people. And this race was a little different than the previous races. The previous races that I raced in was the R class. That was the letter designation we had. And it was for people 21 and older that are basically C riders. And this time, during the National Hare Scramble, they did things a little differently. They did like 0 to 200 cc C class, and then they did like a 200, or maybe it was 250, I'm not sure, and then 250 to like, I don't know, open. But anyway, I ended up being in the 30-year-old C class, and there were a bunch of guys that lined up next to me that had the same letter designation. It didn't change. It was the letter R. And I don't know. I don't know who's in my class, and I don't know who's not. So this guy up in front of me, I don't know what's going on with him. I think he got like he got a craving for mud pies, so he decided just to have a little pit stop there and enjoy himself some mud pies. And it is muddy. It's been raining, it's overcast, and it's humid, but it's not too hot. But it had been raining pretty much the entire weekend before this, and you can see there's mud puddles. There's guys broke down here. Both of these guys have an R on their plate. If you were to pause it, you'd see the R right now on his plate. But it was weird because it was mixed in. There was the 40-year-old R class and then the 30-year-old R class, and we were all mixed together. So when you pass a guy with the letter R, you really don't know if he's in your class or not. And then to make things even more complicated, the District 14 is what I normally ride. They kept track of points, and they kept track of what place you got separately on that. So I'm also racing against people with like the letter X designation, but not all of the people with the letter X, only some of them. So I don't know, it was complicated, it was weird, but these trails are absolutely amazing. They're muddy, they're slippery, there's roots all over, there's corners all over the place, but there's decent straightaways, so it flows nice, it's got some speed. So I come up over this hill, and they've got this thing here. I don't know what to call it. It's tires, it's a ramp, and another guy gets around me, but I've already passed 2 people. And then, no, I passed 3 people, right? And then I had 1 pass me, so that's not too bad. And I can tell by the way this course is just all muddy and everything that it's going to deteriorate. It's going to get a lot rougher later on. Like the second lap, the third lap, the fourth lap, all of that is going to be much harder than the first lap here. And the first lap is already difficult and rough for me. But I feel like I'm riding at a pretty good pace. I seem to be keeping up with a few other people up here ahead of me. And yeah, I'm doing all right. Now this course is, I believe what they told us was it was 8 miles, and 1 mile was motocross track. But my GPS that I had on my back wasn't working so well. You can see it's saying I'm going like 4 or 5 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour. I'm actually going faster than that. And it said the accuracy of the GPS was only within like 30 yards or something like that, which is not very good. And it even showed that it was off on the map and stuff. I don't know how well the GPS actually did, but the GPS told me that I only rode 20 miles within 3 laps. So either their math was off, the people that measured this course, which I believe their math was probably right. I think the GPS was off, because I'm obviously moving faster than 2 miles an hour right now. But I decided to put the gauges on anyway, because I like them, and I don't know, it seemed like they were on part of the time and off part of the time. But anyway, we're coming through the woods here. There's mud, ruts, and that guy's faster than me. I don't know, this was an amazing race. I was a little bit discouraged that I didn't know quite where I was at as far as what place I was in and who I was racing against, and it was just out of the ordinary. But at the same time, this BattleCreek trail, or whatever that I'm riding out here, is just absolutely amazing. I wish I had this thing in my backyard and I could just go out and ride a few laps on it every day. I'd be in awesome shape and I'd be a much better rider, so that would be great. If you're listening to the actual audio right now, you can hear me breathing hard. Alright, so we're coming up under this bridge. And this is the enduro cross section, and I've explained what an enduro cross section is in some of my previous videos, but I'll explain it again for anyone who's newly watching this video. What it is it's a bunch of tires, rocks, and logs set up kind of as an obstacle course that you have to cross. And it's part of the race, and then there will be a bypass around it a lot of the time, most of the time, for the guys that just aren't good enough or skilled enough to be able to do that, or even if you're too tired to be able to do it. And the bypass will end up taking longer than you would have took going through the enduro cross section, most likely, if you're an actual good rider. Now, I was planning on doing the enduro cross section. I was looking forward to it, but when I went to the riders meeting, you can see it on the right a little bit right there. You can see guys going up and hitting logs and stuff. But in the riders meeting before the race, it was explained that if you go into the enduro cross section and you're unable to complete it and you have to actually drive out through the tape and around, you get docked 1 lap. Now this is a real big problem for me. Well, it would be for anyone. Losing an entire lap will really drastically move you down the leaderboards. But for me, I'm only planning on doing 3, maybe 4 at the most laps total. So losing one lap is huge. I mean, that could be 25%, that could be 33% of my race. So I decided that I was just going to avoid the enduro cross section. And what I'm planning on doing is getting with my brother-in-law and going over to his house. And we're going to build a little enduro cross section back on his property. And he's got a little hill there, and we're going to set up some logs and everything, just so we can get some practice, because that would be Zach, and he's raced these races with me in the past. And, you know, both of us just need some practice to become better riders, and plus it's a whole lot of fun to do, so why not? And I'm letting people by, and you can see that big old rut in front of me. This is what the whole course is going to be. It's going to be muddy, it's going to be ruddy, and the more that we dig this thing up, the more tree roots are going to be exposed, and those things are slippery. And not only are they slippery, but when you hit them, they will bounce you straight up into the air. And I don't know if I just need to position myself better on my suspension or pick up the speed or something, but I have a real hard time hitting these bumps and roots and maintaining control of the bike. But I'm clipping along at a pretty good pace here. It seems a lot of other people are much faster, but, you know, whatever. I'm out here and I'm having fun, and I'm breathing hard, but at the same time, I'm in decent shape, so I feel like I'm going to be able to at least complete the race. And look at these roots and logs and everything, and don't get the wrong idea, don't think I'm complaining about them, because these things are fun to cross, but they do work you out, and they do make you extremely tired. Little pine section here, coming through the corner, and then a dip. I saw one guy hit that. I don't know if I've got it actually in this video, but he hit that with, like, I think he skipped over it with his front tire, and then he hit it with his back, and the back tire just shot up straight up in the air, and it looked like he was going to go over the handlebars, but that guy was a real good rider, and he just, like, he kept riding it right on out. So there's more log crossings, and they're on funny angles, and that's the thing. If you can hit them square with your front tire, you can pop right over them, and it's usually not a problem. Whoa, oh, whoa, whoa. See, that's what I was saying. I have a hard time maintaining control and staying on my bike. It popped me off to the left, and then I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh man, I see all these green leafy things here, and it's like I really hope that there's not a log hidden in these things. And then I hit a log and went over the handlebars, but at least I didn't get hurt. It didn't seem to hurt the bike. But pay attention later on to that left bark buster right there. I think that when I hit here, I think that it moved my bark buster up. You can tell that the left one is slightly higher than the right one. And I think what that ended up doing was loosening the bolt and the tensioner that's actually inside of the bar. And I end up losing that bolt later on, and then my bark buster just starts hanging down there and dangling. That was a pretty big distraction because I kept looking down at it over and over again. I was afraid I was going to lose them because these things are, I mean, they're pretty expensive. I don't remember what I paid. It was probably somewhere along the lines of $70 or $80 for these bark busters. So, I mean, losing one of them, you have to buy a whole new pair. So, I'm not really excited about the concept of losing one. But anyway, I'm continuing down the trail. And one thing that's different about this BattleCreek course as compared to any of the other ones that I have run with District 14 thus far would be BattleCreek has rolling hills. And that just makes things fun. I mean, when you've got downhills and then hill climbs and just roots and stuff to climb over, and look at this, just logs like this just all over the place. It takes a ton of energy, but it's just extremely fun. Oh, and here's a downhill. And then right back up again, up a little hill climb, and there's a log in the way, and you've got to bring your feet up, and It was fun. I love trail riding. I love going out and riding the trails here in Michigan. But this is just an awesome trail. I've never even ridden a trail I've had this much fun on. So there's this bridge we've got to cross, and see that front tire? That front tire started cocking to the side. And like I said, it'd been raining, and those logs were just extremely slippery. And there's a little ditch below them, and I really didn't want to fall off the side of those things and go in that ditch. Just over a month, probably about somewhere around 6 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks from when I broke my ribs in the previous race in Stanton. And I'm not looking to fall down a gully or a ditch or anything like that. I mean, I'm doing well just to be out here and riding at this pace, let alone, look, I've only gone 4 miles. They've got a marker out there, but I'm doing extremely well just to be out here and be riding, let alone falling down a ditch and having my bike fall on me. So I think I'm going to avoid that bridge from now on. No more. Maybe I'll try it next year if it's dry. Maybe I'll try it next year if it's wet. We'll have to see where my my ability is at that time. But another thing I'm wondering at this time is if you watch my handlebars and you see how much I'm just fighting this bike, I'm wondering if the other guys are really in that much better shape than me to where they are out here and they can just ride hard for 2 hours and be fine at the end of the race, or if the reason I'm getting so tired actually is because I'm fighting the bike so hard to try to keep it on the trail. I'm thinking it might be the second, that I'm actually fighting the bike and it's taking much more energy and I'm expending a whole lot more energy than the other guys are. Okay, so I come up and there's that log up there to the right and there's this bypass. And I let this girl by me. And this is the same girl. I don't know if you guys remember the girl at the Polka Dots race who got past me and then got stuck in a mud hole. So I was afraid to go across that log. It was slippery. Go past the mud or the bypass. So here's this girl again, and she's stuck in a mud hole, and I get past her. And then this poor girl. I mean, she's out here and she's racing. And in every race, she's faster than me, so she gets by me. And then she gets stuck in a mud hole. It seems to be the theme. I don't know. I need to work on my conditioning and control of the bike, and she needs to work on avoiding a mud hole. Yeah. So, there's a guy up there. A guy on, it looks like a KTM. So, I'm catching up to him, slowly but surely, on this mud one track. And, get off to the side. Oh, looks like a Honda maybe. I don't know. Could have been a KTM, Honda. I'm not good with colors. But anyway, I get by him. And I'm continuing down the trail. I'm not sure if he's in my class or not. I really didn't get a good look. But if he is, then great. If he's not, well, I guess I'll be ahead of him in the overall then if I can manage to stay ahead of him for the rest of the race. Oh, there's another guy. I don't know what that bike was either. I didn't look and see the number plate as well, but the cool thing is, in a lot of the previous races, I have not passed anyone. And in this race, I'm actually passing a few people, so I get out to this straightaway, and it's time to give her some go juice and pick up a little bit of speed. But I'm afraid to go too fast because, like I said, I'm not that good of a rider, and I don't want to crash and kill myself. And I hear this noise behind me, this guy hitting his rev limiter. Whoa, that guy goes by me, and he's crazy fast. Crazy fast. I checked that guy's lap times, okay? And my lap times, like my fast lap times, were around like 35 minutes. This guy was running a 20-minute lap time. and he's going 8 miles on that 20-minute lap time. So that's crazy. I'll come back to him later, but I'm catching another guy up here. So I'm getting all excited. Yeah, I'm feeling pumped up. I'm actually catching people. I'm making passes on people. So I'm trailing this guy for a little while. I'm going to catch up to him, and I'm going to make the pass. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to be able to show everyone that's viewing the video how much I've improved, how good I am. And it's a kid. It's like, dang it. I thought I was doing something awesome, and now I don't know, this kid's like 12, 13 years old. He looks pretty small. But you know what? That's the level I'm riding at. So it is what it is. If I can stay ahead wow, I'm stumbling all over my words. If I can stay ahead of this 13-year-old kid, hey, so be it. Those kids are in good shape. They have all kinds of energy. If I can stay ahead of him, then good. So I come up here, and there's this downhill. All right, so I'm heading down the hill, and everything's sloping to the right. It's like an off-camber turn, and it's almost sliding me into that tree. So I told myself, next time I'm going to go slower over that. I don't want to run into that tree or wipe out. So here we go. We're going out, and then it's over this bridge. This is the 7-mile mark. It's over the bridge, and then out onto the motocross track for 1 more mile of the motocross track. And I'm not going to show that because I'm horrible out on the motocross track, and I'm slow. And quite frankly, it's embarrassing to show people. So here's me coming into the scoring tent, and I am in 9th place. And I'm thinking, wow, when I started and you look down that line, there were a lot of people that started with me, and I don't know how many people there were, but there were a lot. And I know that if you have over 25 people in your class, you get a trophy for 8th place. So it's like, hey, all right, like I'm gonna come out here, I need to pick up the pace, I need to get going, and I need to pick up 1 more place to get into 8th, and I could possibly walk out of this thing with a trophy. So that gives me a little bit renewed energy. Look at these guys go. They're crazy fast. I wish I was that fast. But I'm in 8th place, and I'm trekking through the mud. Or no, I'm in 9th place. I'm wanting to get to 8th place. And I'm trekking through the mud, and look at the ruts, and look at what this trail is deteriorated into. It's after everyone has gone through, it's just crazy. I think everyone's gone through about twice now. So anyway, that fast guy I was talking about before, the first guy that passed me, how crazy fast he was, let's put it into a little bit of perspective for you, okay? That Jeff Stanton that I was talking about at the beginning of the race, he's a Hall of Fame rider. He's incredibly fast. He had something like a 25-minute, yeah, somewhere around a 25-minute lap time. And then this other guy that's the National Pro Hare Scramble rider comes out and is putting down like 20-minute lap time. So that just goes to show you, even if you're an amazing rider, like these wood rider guys that are just like in their prime and in great shape they're crazy fast. That's me almost wiping out on logs. The trail, like I said, it's deteriorated. There's roots showing. It's dug up. There's a pretty good rut going now, though. And that's one thing that I picked up in this race that I can add to my arsenal now of improvements to my riding ability, is that in the corners, the ruts, I'm actually learning how to ride them a little bit, and they're not hurting me like they were before. I had to go slow before. Now I'm following the rut, and they're actually making me faster. So here I'm thinking I'm going to be cool and drive around this thing. I try to pull the tape up so I can get under it, and I pull the stupid stake out.
I pulled the stake out.
I'm out here redesigning the course to fit the way I want it. All right. So sorry to whoever made this track, but I'm the redesigner, and I'm gonna fix it. Okay. You had a problem over there. People couldn't drive by. Now they can. So. I don't know if you're actually supposed to do that, but I was afraid of going and wiping out on this stupid thing. So back under the bridge, and we're back over here to the Enduro Cross, and this guy's all excited. Yeah, man, go drive in there. He's all, no, sorry, buddy, it's not going to happen. But he gave me the thumbs up. I think he understood. He's like, all right, yeah, you suck. Go ahead and go that way. Go over there and hit the bypass. But it feels like I'm riding pretty fast. I'm going to keep saying this over and over again. This is probably the best that I've ever felt in a race. I feel like I'm carrying a decent amount of speed. I'm feeling relatively comfortable. I don't know how big of a leap it is from where I'm at to the front of my class, or even, well, I know it's a great big leap from me to an A rider, or me to an expert rider, or whatever classes they have. It's a long way from me to one of the guys that are really fast. But the leap from me to a guy at the top of my class, I don't know exactly how far that is. I think it's, when I figured it out, their lap times versus my lap times and how many more mile per hour I would have to average to catch them, it was 2 miles an hour. So 2 miles an hour doesn't seem like that big of a stretch for me to actually be competitive in this class. So there's that. Whoa, it's getting rutted out. It's getting, whoa, I'm all over the place. It's no wonder I'm so tired at the end of these things, because I'm just, the bike's probably 230 pounds and I'm wrestling it for 2 hours. The way I try to explain it to people is like, go to a bar with one of those mechanical bulls, sit on it, and put it on easy mode or whatever, but try to stay on it for 2 hours. Like, it's exhausting. Oh, that's a big old rut. Look at these things. Oh, and there we go. My bark buster just fell down. And I messed with it here for a little bit. I was hoping I could take it off and, I don't know, maybe put it in my backpack or something, but I don't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm out here racing. I'm trying to pick up a position. I want a trophy. So I pretty much let it dangle, you know. If I lose it, whatever. So this guy's giving the yellow flag. Somebody's wiped out down that ditch. There's guys trying to help him push the bike out. I wasn't going to go across the bridge anyway. I was going to take the bypass anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me. But bummer for that guy being stuck down there. That kid gets by me again. There he is. He's going past me. I don't care. He's about the same speed as me, so maybe I should find out his number, find out his name, and maybe I can compare myself to that guy through some of the other races. So I'm coming back in across the motocross section here, coming back up to the scoring tent. We're going to complete lap 2. And they put these things so close together. Luckily this time I wasn't so tired I almost crashed, but there's been times before where I've almost ran into these railroad ties or whatever they got there. I look up, 8th place. Oh yeah, 8th place. I've picked up a position, and now what I've got to do is I've got to hold that position. I can't let anybody pass me that's in my class, and maybe I can pick up a few more. I mean, 8th place is the best I've ever done. But maybe I can get up to 7th place, maybe 6th, maybe 5th. So I'm out here, and I'm charging, and I'm going fast. And it may look like it's in slow motion to you, but that's alright. This is fast for me. Especially since they gave me the white flag. That means this is the last lap. I've already been out here for I don't know how long, but this is the last lap in the completion of a 2-hour race. So I'm charging, and I'm going fast, and I've got to make up some time. Nobody can pass me. I can't let it happen. Well, besides the fast guys. Nobody from my class can pass me. That's what I meant to say. And I've got to make some passes myself. So here we go. I'm following the ruts, and the bike's tracking awesomely through these ruts. It's staying in it. It's the bumps that are giving me trouble now. Before, where it was the ruts, that's not the problem anymore. Now it's the bumps. So I probably got to do some tuning on my suspension, get it dialed in just where it needs to be. I'll be the first to admit I'm an amateur, when it comes to the suspension. I don't know how to set it up, but I'm learning. I've been reading on forums. I've been watching videos. Okay, here we go. Here's this little technical section here. And look at that. I picked the perfect line through it. I go through it nice and easy. Don't waste any energy. Maintain a relatively good speed. And continue my way down the trail. What is my phone doing right now? It's somebody's birthday. Happy birthday, Bettina. Girl I went to school with. Happy birthday. Alright, so continuing down the trail, charging, trying to make up time. It is actually feeling like a race for the first time during this race to me. Before, it's all felt like a trail ride, but now I'm on a mission to keep my position and to try to pick up more positions. And I can't even express to you guys how happy I am about the way I'm riding these ruts. I mean, it may not look like I have amazing wood speed to people who actually have amazing speed in the woods, but to me, this is an improvement, a drastic improvement. The problem is I'm fatigued. I'm tired. I've been wrestling this machine. My arms are absolute rubber, and I'm just trying to finish this thing. It's crazy how tired you get at the end of these things, or how tired I get anyway. And the logs, they take it out of you in every bump, every log, every corner, every rut. It's a fight against yourself in your own mind to just keep the determination, to keep up the pace and keep going. And I can hear guys behind me, and I have to keep getting over for these fast riders. So here they come, 1, 2, and here comes the third guy. And look at this guy. He comes by and he's just like, hey man, gives me the thumbs up. And he just tears on past. And it's like, I am so jealous of being able to do that. Maybe on the first lap I could have gave somebody a thumbs up as I passed them. But on this third lap, after it's probably an hour and 45 minutes at this point, something like that, I can't even take my hand off the handlebars without feeling like I'm going to wipe out. I'm incredibly sloppy. I'm all over the trail. And the thing that's even worse about that is the sloppier you get, the more you have to fight the bike. The more you have to fight the bike, the more tired you get. So it's a catch-22. Things just keep getting worse. But I'm continuing, and I'm continuing at a decent pace. And the ruts and the trail is just thrashed, but it doesn't matter. I'm determined to finish this race out, and I'm determined to keep my position or do better than I am right now. Everybody else has got to be just as tired as I am, right? I mean, I'm racing in the 30-year-old veteran class, the C class, so these other guys, they've got to be feeling it like I'm feeling it. That's just my train of thought right now. They've got to be feeling it like I'm feeling it. So I've got to keep my head up, keep going. Oh, and I'm sloppy and falling down all over the place. And this section right here really demonstrates just how tired I was, because I come up here to this next corner and I almost run into a tree and go down again. I'm tired and I'm all over the place. I'm falling down. That's how tired I am. But these other guys, being 30 years old, have to be the same way. And I look off to the left, and what is that? That is another bike. That is another bike with a letter R designation on it. So I just passed somebody who's possibly in my class. And we got the fighting music up. We're in a race now. I've got to keep him behind me. It's a race to the finish. I'm possibly in 6th place or possibly in 7th place right now. So here we go, going down the trail, not too fast, but not too slow. And there's these ruts in the middle of the trail. Ah, and I almost lose it. And then back into the woods trail. Here we go, out to the finish. And actually my camera cuts out. I don't get to show you guys the rest of the race. But I will tell you what happened, alright? Story time. Everybody listen close. I passed another guy. I believe he was on it was a green bike, so it would have been a Kawasaki, and he also had the letter R designation. So I'm expecting coming into the finish, possibly, to be in 6th place. But as I cross the finish line, I am in 8th place, and that's the whole thing where I said it was confusing, is I didn't know who was in my class or who wasn't. So I ended up taking 8th place, and my class wasn't nearly as big as I thought it was. My class only ended up being 12 people. So where I thought I did completely awesome at 8th place, I actually only got 8 out of 12. So it wasn't as good as I thought it was, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. And then the scores were posted for the District 14. In my 21 plus C class with the R designation, I would have got 20th overall out of, I believe, like 30 people. So all in all, it was a good learning experience. It was definitely a good workout. This is keeping me in shape, and I'm having a whole lot of fun doing it. So hopefully I improve for the next race, and hopefully I just keep having a good time doing this. Anyway, guys, this is Booster, and I'll catch you guys later.